This is Two Likeable Guys, and we're not NPR.
It reminds me of that Saturday Night Live skit, Sweaty Balls.
Oh, yeah. Wasn't that your Wi-Fi password?
Yep.
Okay.
Actually, that was the name,
Oh.
Sweaty Balls.
Right. The neighbor's password. And whoever the neighbors are, we appreciate them letting us use their Wi-Fi.
Not.
We're really not. But anyway, do you have any good stories of road rage?
I actually do.
I think we all do. I have two good ones. Actually, my first one I need to start with is when I was probably 16, 17, and I was riding around with some older brothers, and they just would always, it was a different time. Say when I started driving 30 years ago, you could drive around. We would cruise. We would go down,
Hit up Brainerd Road.
especially.
Oh yeah.
And we were coming back home, and we were coming down Dayton Boulevard, and we would always try to find a race or somebody would pull us over, and we would just way overreact. So we were turning in to go home, and the people in front of us decided that they were going to slam on their brakes. So we decided not to turn in, and by we I mean the driver, which was myself. And they started to turn. I took a right hand, and they pulled by, and so I pulled back out to end up behind them. That doesn't make sense. I was in front of them first, and I took a right like I was turning into a road, and they were behind me because I wanted to get in front of them and slam on my brakes. So I ended up behind them, and but anyway, we slammed on the brakes.
Wait a minute. What were you driving at the time?
A wonderful 1980 Chevrolet Chevette 4-speed.
Four on the floor.
4-cylinder. It was a thing of beauty. I think it was pushing 55, 60 horsepower.
Whoa.
It's quite powerful.
Watch out.
And maybe 56, 57 horsepower.
I didn't mean to interrupt your story. We needed to set the scene a little bit.
Yeah.
And wait a minute, you were doing this on Dayton Boulevard?
Yes, but remember this was 30 years ago, so it wasn't, you were young. I was young and dumb.
There you go.
And I could do whatever I wanted with it. I was like, I was untouchable. I had no...
10 foot tall and bulletproof.
Exactly.
There you go.
Yeah, 16 years old.
Oh, yeah.
That's the way that goes. But that's the one time I didn't get in trouble, and I didn't have to spend the afternoon in the slammer.
Oh, the old pokey. So you have a road rage story that you end up in the slammer?
Yes. I have two that ended up in court. 2 times I've had road rage that ended up in court. Both were dismissed. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
But the first time I was pulling out, and a guy ran a stop sign, and I got really mad, and for no reason. Looking back now, because it's always stupid. It's always stupid. Because you're over it.
Not back then.
Not back then. It wasn't. It was like I was raging.
Yeah.
But he ran a stop sign, and I ran up. I crossed over a double yellow line to get in front of him, just to slam on my brakes because he made me wait a little bit longer at the 4-way stop. Well, I think it's over and done with. I did that a couple times, and he was like there giving me the number 1 sign, and so we drove on. I had to pull in to get gas. This is down near my house where that gas station is. And I pulled in, I pumped gas. I got done pumping gas. The guy comes back up. He opens his trunk. He gets out a shovel. He comes up to me, and he said...
He's going to bury that Chevette.
he told me his business, and he was not having it. And
Was he in the landscape business?
Strangely enough, he was in the auto detailing business.
Ooh.
And I believe he was driving a customer's car because the car was immaculate. And it looked really nice.
Was the shovel clean?
I don't remember because he was acting like he was coming towards my face with it, like threatening, like, I'm going to get you. I'm going to get you. And at the time, I was pretty young and dumb, but I did have a little protection on myself, pepper spray. Ooh. So I had my hands in my pockets, and he threatened me one more time. And so I just pulled out the pepper spray, and I sprayed him in the face, and he dropped the shovel and rolled around. What the hell did you do to me? And so I was like, dude, you were threatening me with a shovel. What am I supposed to do? So he goes inside the store and washes out his eyes. And the lady behind the counter says,
the restrooms are for customers only.
Yeah, no, but there's beside
the sink,
the sink
I got you.
and the little make your own coffee drinks area.
Right next to the hot dogs.
And so he was washing out his pepper spray from the hot dogs. And we decided, the lady behind the counter said, "Do y'all want me to call the police?" I said, "Heck yeah, call the police. This dude threatened me with a shovel." And he was like, "Man, I'm just going to get out of here." But he couldn't see anything because he had pepper spray in his eyes. He couldn't get it clean up. So the cops show up. Surprisingly enough, we live in a pretty small town, and I know the first cop that shows up. I was like, cool, this is going to go fine. It's going to be easy. And so he comes and asks me what happened.
Who was the first cop? You don't want to share names?
He's still a cop up in Saudi now.
Oh, okay. I know who you're talking about.
Really?
Yeah.
He's a man and he works.
He's a man and he works. He sure does.
Yes.
Yeah. That's who I thought it was.
And they're a super nice guy. But he came up and he was like, "Okay, I got your story." And he's like, "I was talking to the other guy. He seems like a real hothead. I think we're just going to let you both go." And at that time, his superior pulled up as a detective and said, "Well, you can't figure out exactly what happened. Take them both to jail." So I've never gone from so angry in my life to so scared. I'm going to jail with all the bad criminals. I don't know what to do. So I was scared, and I probably shed a tear or two, and and
couple of blocks away from the house.
Yes.
Yelling for mama.
Yes.
Mama.
Yes. And but it was fun. I learned a lot. When you're in, and they funny enough, they took us to the same jail in the same car and put us in the same area. So if we were really mad at each other, we would probably still be in there. But by that time, we had both regained our cool, and we decided, and we both had similar jobs. He owned a. He owned an auto detailing business, and at that time, and now I still do. It was very ironic.
Did y'all share some shop secrets?
No, but he was a nice guy. I liked him. Afterwards, I didn't like him with a shovel in my face, but afterwards.
Do you like him with the red eyes from the pepper spray?
Now that was a nice story that kept going till the end of because the whole time in the pokey he had the red eyes, looked like he'd been crying. So I didn't feel so bad because I had actually been crying.
Now, did they actually take you downtown, or did they keep you local?
I was hoping that this was when Red Bank still had a holding cell.
Yeah.
They did not.
Oh, it's still there.
They did not
didn't use it.
Yeah, they didn't use it. They took us straight downtown, and one thing I did learn in there: once you're in there, you do not know how long you're going to be in there. You do not know if you will ever see the light of day again.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That was probably the scariest part to me. There were plenty of, and there was it's such a good story in there. There was one of the very nice high schools around
Yeah.
There was a young man who was picked up for public drunk, and he was definitely underage, and he was crying his eyes out. I mean, he was crying, this crying, drunk teenage boy. And the inmates that were there for a while, they picked on him so bad. I mean, that was the point where my tears dried up really quick. Like, hey, I'm fine. This is cool, man. Hey, what's up? How you doing?
How you doing?
And
I don't know if I'd have said it like that. Then.
Yeah, I didn't. I just shut up and sat there and thought, like, how do I not make a scene at all and not get people to notice me? And yeah, it was good stuff. But you were going to get picked on if you were a crying, I guess, preppy teenage boy from one of the private schools, because he mentioned that. And I think that was partially his downfall.
Was that the one on the river, or the one by the foot of the ridge?
It was from the one closer to Brainerd.
Yeah, the foot of the ridge. There you go.
Speaking of, congratulations to Macaulay.
Oh yeah, state champions.
They won their football state champions. Good stuff.
All of a sudden, we turned into sport talk.
Yeah. No,
watch out, Quake and Cowboy Joe.
Yeah. You need to be sitting down for this one. Now, what about your road rage?
Yeah. Well,
any good ones come to mind?
I got one good one. I was coming home from work one day with the guy I was working with. Was riding with me. Come down, pouring rain, just couldn't see a couple feet in front of you. Coming down Amicola, and we get down there close to UTC, and they make everybody get off there for some reason. And this guy was just coming on over. He's gonna get in there.
Whether you liked it or not.
It's like, okay, buddy, that's fine. Anyway, come real close to hitting us and everything, and started brake checking us after he got in front of us and all this stuff.
Were you in Old Blue?
Was in Old Blue. Oh yeah. So we're playing little cat and mouse up,
You're still side by side at
Third
this point.
Street, coming over the hills and stuff, and we get down to Market, and old boy gets stuck at a red light. Oh. Still pouring down rain.
Bad for him.
Oh yeah. Pouring down rain. I got my window down, giving him
the
piece of my mind. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He rolls his window down.
And you're not a small man in stature.
No, and I had the beard.
Yeah, you would. If I didn't know you, I would be scared.
Yeah, you look at me, I don't look likable.
No, but it's misleading.
Well, I carry a shovel around with me.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So when did you break out the shovel?
I never got out of the truck, but I'm sitting there. The guy's going back and forth with me. All of a sudden, something comes whizzing by my head. A full
beer.
No, not beer. Coke.
Oh.
That had just been cracked open. I had no clue. Right by my head, out my window, in his window, all over his car.
And this was from your helper?
Yeah. Light turned green, and we went on.
That is so good.
Yeah.
That is so that's classic.
I don't know if he'll ever listen to the podcast, but
if he does,
do, it wasn't me.
Yeah, he apologizes for the delay.
No, I don't apologize for shit. But it wasn't me.
Funny enough, I have another good story. I'm not going to name names in this.
Yeah, I probably shouldn't have either.
Well, this was family, and we were on our way. Me and some family were on our way to Florida, and we got caught in this little backup going out of town. And we needed to get over because all the policemen were directing us over. And we decided to get in front of an 18-wheeler because they were going really, really slow. And, well, they didn't take too kindly to that. So they literally start pushing us I mean, talk about scary when you've got an
wow.
18-wheeler just pushing you. And I was like, what are we going to do? I was not driving.
Yep.
The driver.
Were you in the back seat?
I was in the front passenger seat.
Front passenger.
And there were passengers in the back, and they didn't really know what was going on. But I was like, hey, what's going on? And he's like, he's pushing me. And I was like, what? And it's like, all right, well, let's pull over. So we saw a cop, so we pulled over to the cop to tell him, hey, this dude was pushing me. Well, the cop goes and does something and goes on by, and then this other truck comes by, and he decides to stop and talk to the cop and say, hey, they just cut over in front of him. It wasn't his fault. Well, about that time, the driver of the vehicle I was in got out with a full unopened can of Coke and chunked it at the cab of the truck of the driver that was pushing us. Well, the cop didn't see it, but the other guy in the truck saw it. He told the cop, and the cop said, well, you guys better just get out of here. I'm going to arrest all of you. So we left. But we did.
He didn't threaten you with a fine for littering?
No. He said, because he couldn't prove it. He's only had that other guy's word for it. And there was no, I mean, I guess he could have found evidence, but he was too busy worried about something else going on. That's why he was there, not for our
the wreck.
Yeah, not
too busy worried about that.
Not our little spat.
There you go.
One more, and this is kind of, this one was bad. This one was the last one I've had, and I was up in Swanee, Tennessee, and there's this 2-lane road going through town, and it's no passing, and it's painfully slow. The speed limit, I believe, is 35, and then it goes to 45, and then it goes to 55. And so, but on this one stretch where it's 35, there's nothing around, it's painfully slow, and the cops are everywhere. It's a very small town, and they're just, I mean, you can't step 5 foot without seeing an officer it's not a big place.
Right.
So we were going down was going down the road in what vehicle was this? This was about a 1991 GMC Jimmy, a little S15, the smaller of the vehicles. Yeah. And I decided, I need to stop saying we because it was me. Or it was me and the other personalities in my head that decided.
There you go.
That decided that we should go and drive. You know, I would drive 40 through here, but there was in the
35 mile an hour zone.
Yes, and then there was a man behind me.
Breaking the law.
There was a man behind me in a Porsche. You know, but it wasn't one of those fancy Porsches. It was a Boxster.
Oh,
so it was the. Funny enough, and so he decides he's going to try to pass me. Well, when it gets to the passing zone, it speeds up to 45. So as soon as I see him pull out the pass,
you put the hammer down.
I hammered it down, and surprisingly, this GMC Jimmy is the 4.3 V6, which has got, meaning it has a little bit of power. It's the bigger engine.
The front wheels come up and everything.
Yes, and so we decided it had Porsche Prevention Power Passing. Porsche Prevention Power Passing. It
passing
was
power.
Yes, it was the 4P. It's called the 4P GMC now.
There you go.
And so I go down to my road, and he's like right on my tail, and he's trying to pass me, and I won't let him. And I'm thinking he must be a really bad driver, because there's no way in heck if you were in a Porsche that you couldn't pass a 90 model GMC. There's just no way. So I'm decided to go home. So I turn off my road, and he follows me. I'm thinking, okay, coincidence. Well, I'm not going to go directly to the house if he's following me. I don't want him to know where I'm staying.
Right, yeah.
And I noticed there's another Tahoe Suburban behind him, a big white vehicle that turns in too. And so I thought, oh, great, now I've made 2 people mad. So now I've got two people following me. And I was like, well, I don't know what to do. So there's only a very few roads that we can go on. So I go down through there, and I try to use every trick in the book that I know that I can lose him without, wrecking or being reckless. Stop. He gets out of his car and starts to walk up to me. As soon as he starts walking up to the vehicle I'm in, I take off, thinking I've got to jump on him now. Well, when I take off, I notice the other vehicle stop behind him too, the Suburban. So there was two vehicles stopped behind me. I thought, well, I need to get the heck out of here. They're going to beat me to a pulp.
Right.
So I turn up this one road, and there's really no way out. So I do a U-turn in the middle of the road and pass back by them. Both of them are following me. Well, I think, that's not going to work. They're just going to turn around and follow me. So I do it again. I do a double U-turn. And I go right back.
So now you're chasing them.
Yeah, well, no, they were still coming the opposite way. And so I come up and I pass them, and they're going the opposite way. So I do that twice. We passed twice. The second time I was going down the road, and they were still way behind, and I thought I was lost them, and a police officer pulls up in front of me and blocks me where I cannot go anywhere. And they pull up, and I thought, oh, good. Well, at least I won't get killed now. So the officer steps out and is like, what in the heck is going on? And I explained my story, and I was like, those two things are trying to kill me. I don't know who. Well, it turns out the second vehicle was an officer of the law. I didn't know that then. If I would have known that, I would have stopped. But it was just, they were off duty. They were in their personal vehicle. And Dave gave me a field sobriety test because the guy in the Porsche said, I swear that guy's drunk. Turns out he was a lawyer. He said he was trying to get a hold of me so he could represent me in court if I had any trouble with the law. Needless to say, we get a court date. I show up for court. This is the best part of the story. We show up for court. Of course, the judge is friends with the lawyer.
Of course, yeah.
And they get it thrown out, though.
Small town.
And I told him I apologized to him. I said, man, I'm sorry. It sucks. He was like, yeah, well, I saw the guy driving that. He was real drunk. He couldn't pass the field sobriety test. And which was true. I didn't pass the field sobriety test, but I don't drink. I had a shot of adrenaline just going through my veins, and that's what the officer said. He said, come here, let me feel your pulse. He said, your pulse is 120, buddy. He's like, you're not going to...
You're grabbing your chest. I'm coming to see Elizabeth.
Yeah, it was fun stuff, though. Scary. But I've been really blessed. The moral of this story is just mind your own business and go on. Somebody cut you off. It's no big deal. You're not, well, especially me, I'm not 16 anymore.
Yeah.
I got family.
That's right.
I got kids.
That's right.
Can't do this. Anyway, that was pretty fun.
Yeah.
Not
too shabby for the first one.
Yeah, I liked it.
Think people are going to listen to us this long?
I don't know.
We'll see.
Do you have anything you would like to add for
No. I'm good.
I like that.
You like it?
Yeah.
Right.
I really,
That's good.
I'm really excited about
This is killer.
Yeah.
All right.
This were two likable guys, and we hope you like us, and we like you too.
All right. Later.